Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. Yes guys, the time is finally here for us to discuss the last book in the Twilight Saga, the main finale. Yes, our one and only Breaking Dawn by Stephenie Meyer. Before I get into this video, I would like to dedicate this video to my mother and my cousin Erica. Me and my cousin Erica were a huge fan of the Twilight Saga. Okay, so let's dive into this puppy. The first main difference in the book is they don't jump into the wedding like like they do in the movie. Bella takes a drive in her brand new car that her husband's given her, and she thinks everybody is staring at the big rock on her finger, which is not true. Bella's just being paranoid. So anyway, the so anyway, um, 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 besides that first change that we get, and we do have a couple of changes in the book from in the movie, and I will get to those. But besides that, the next day comes around and the wedding is happening. And it's here at the wedding that we meet the cousins, Tanya, Kate, and Irina, and 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 Eliza and his wife Carmen. So my main question is for this, and I haven't and I never noticed this before until I actually I act I actually have watched the movies back to back on and I actually have watched the movies back to back on 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 loop on I have actually watched the Breaking Down movies back to back on loop on repeat even, and I don't know how I never noticed that the cousin Irina was the girlfriend to Laurent from the first and the second Twilight movie. But here's my question. If she is the girlfriend to Laurent, then why wasn't she in the first and second movie? So anyway, after they say our I do's, they dance a little bit, and we get to see our boy Jacob once more, coming in his little tuxedo. He looks so cute. Coming in his little tuxedo, having a having a having having have uh, having a little dance with Bella until he finds out about the honeymoon, so he gets mad. And Sam and my boy Seth had to literally pull him off from hurting Bella because he grabbed her by the arm and said, "You can't do this, you can't do this, he'll kill you." And so, anyway, that's over. Jacob is gone, and we move on to the honeymoon. So, like, the movie is, the book is too. So, it's basically the same old, except they change, like, little things, like, she first got sick by the sink, but but you but you but you gotta remember what I said. Little things don't bother me. Little little things that they changed in the book don't bother me. A big change that they made, and I am really happy that they made it, is as in in the book, they actually tell her father Charlie that she's a vampire, and he knows about the werewolves. And I do like the fact that in the book and in the movie, we are focusing on Charlie. Not like I don't love Renee. I love Renee. But I just love the fact that we are focusing on her dad and his life and his love life, and the fact that he still gets to be a part of his daughter life and his granddaughter's life. I just really, really, really like the fact that we in Breaking Dawn are focusing on Charlie, because we never get to see, well, I'm not gonna, well, yes, I am gonna say, we never get to see Charlie and Bella's relationship. But in Breaking Dawn, the book, we do. We do. We do. And I just, and I, and, and I, and I just really like the fact that they told him everything and that he gets to be a part of Bella's life. And I just really like that they made that change for the book. I really do appreciate. So, like in the movie, I so like in the movie, Irina tells the Volturi that the Collins have created a um mm, hmm, mm, hmm, like in the movie, I mm, mm, hmm, mm, so like in the movie, Irina tells the Volturi that the Collins have done something terrible. They so they assume that she is an immortal child. And when Bella And Jacob realized this. They all gathered together in the forest and say, "Why? What did she see?" And then, and then, and and then, and and then, um, and and this is when Jacob tells Edward, like, she saw Renesmee catching snowflakes, yada 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 yada, and now they gotta find out a plan to tell the Volturi that Renesmee is not dangerous. Oh, and I forgot to tell you my favorite part of the whole book. When she transformed into a vampire, in the movie, she looks asleep, right? But in the book, she is asleep. And in the book, when she is asleep, she can hear everything. So, when she heard everything, like in the movie. So, so, I should just say this. I really do like the fact that she can hear even when she is being transformed into a vampire. I just think that is really unique, and I just really think it's just really cool how she can hear while she is being transformed into a vampire. Because in the movie it looked like she was asleep, but she could hear everything that they were saying, everything that her family was saying downstairs, and she found out about the bet. But Emmett and Jasper weren't loud enough. So Emmett and Jasper just said, "How much you want to bet that Bella's gonna lose her mind?" So when she wakes up from her transformation, she actually just looks at Jacob and Renesmee and actually just figures it out on her own. And then she kicks Jacob's butt. And then he doesn't help his case by saying, "Well, we could share, you know." Like, Jacob, my guy, I adore you, I love you, but seriously, you're not helping your case here by saying, we could share. No, you're not helping your case. But all in all, they all make peace. And Jacob becomes a part of the family, like a cool uncle, Uncle Jacob, I guess. So anyway, after they made peace, and after ap, ap, after ap, after after the werewolves and vampires make peace with each other, everything is good, everything is dandy. Even Bella herself has got a gift from the Volturi to congratulate her on her transformation, but the problem is still Renesmee, because she is growing too fast, because she is half vampire, half human. So they decide to go to Brazil, but before they could go to Brazil, I I I I I I Laurent's girlfriend Irina shows up, and she actually tells the Volturi the Collins have created an immortal child. And again, I ask you, my faithful viewers, why do you not think that they shouldn't put this in the second and first movie of Twilight? If her and Laurent were a thing, why couldn't they be together like James and Victoria and be a part of the group with Laurent by her side? That would make me feel more empathy for this character. But anyway, besides that, you guys know how it goes. They all have to find their witnesses. And let me tell you, Alaric, Alaric, my guy. Did you even participate in the fight? Because after all of that complaining of, oh, Carlisle, sentries on the run, that's where you brought me, and I won't stand to fight against the Volturi. But after, Christmas, some of them did have a fight, like a Lorik, was having a fight with Benjamin's father, and they were saying how they both agreed that we shouldn't stay here and be witness to this e- um and, and 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 they do say we shouldn't stay here and bear witness to this immortal child. So let me tell you who leaves. Benjamin says, Tia. So Tia, the girl that he came. So Tia, the girl that he came up with, stays, but their father leaves. But he doesn't go far. I mean, he still keeps an eye on them. And wait. Wait. And Elorix and wait. And Elorix and Carmen, they stay along with Kate and Tanya. So anyway, I'm just trying to say here, what's the point of you guys coming if you guys are gonna complain? I mean, Carlisle is you guys' oldest. Carlisle is you guys' oldest friend. You wouldn't stop to help a friend if you could. He needs your help. He can't do it all by himself. So I'm not mad. I'm just wondering why did they come if they were just gonna leave. But Benjamin and Tanya stay together, and their father doesn't really go far, so I gotta give him props for staying nearby. but but wait, but Eloric and Carlisle, if they both worked for the Volturi when the battle came, or I think, hmm, no, I think it was just Eloric. So Eloric came to the rescue, and he came to say, I have seen the child proves no danger. But before I get to the ending, there is something I gotta say about Jay Jacobs, the the mm, 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 when, the one that Alice sent Bella to go see. You can tell he is a very clear businessman because he had no idea who Bella was until like the last name Collins came up from his assistant, whose name I don't even care to remember because the assistant was annoying. But I do think in this part of the book, like everybody just thinks Bella's a child. Because Jay Jinx thought that Bella was Jasper's wife. But no, she cleared it up and she said, I'm just his sister-in-law. And so she gets the passports, and like in the movie, she is confused, but then but 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 mm, mm, but like in the movie, as I said before, she does understand Alice's vision. And I do have to say, I do respect the fact that they kept, and I and 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 I and and I and I and, and I do understand what they do, why they did it, because Alice left because she knew what kind of help they needed. And I do like the fact that Alice just left the instructions just for her in the book like she did in the movie, because only her mind will be safe from Aro. And yet we get to the power scene where she discovers that she is the shield. And I love the fact that she trains with Renesmee, and I really do think it's a great mother and daughter bonding moment for them to be working side by side in the battlefield. And I do have to say, I am impressed about how fast this kid is growing, but yet I am not surprised because he is a newborn vampire. So, anyway, we get to the battle scene at last. And this is when Bella gives Renesmee, before the battle scene, this is when it is nighttime and they are all in the tent, and she gives Renesmee a locket. And I do enjoy this scene because, and I do enjoy this scene in the movie because him and Carlisle have a very, very sweet father-son moment where he says, Carlisle, I never thank you. Thank you, because this is an extraordinary life. And Carlisle is not even mad at him when he says, all these people are putting themselves in danger because I fell in love with a human. And the only father thing Carlisle says, I love him and Jacob's relationship so much. The only thing Carlisle says to his son is, you found your mate. You deserve to be happy. And everybody here has something to fight for. I know I certainly do. And then he actually just looks at Edward and all his children and smiles back at Edward. And I just really think that is like a very, very father-son sweet moment. And my favorite line of all is like when they are standing in the middle of the battlefield and saying, so, so, wait, hmm, wait, so, the battle is finally here. So they go to the clearing just like in the movie. And Garrett says to Kate, if we survive this, I follow you and you are a woman. And Kate says, now you tell me. So I do enjoy Kate and Garrett's relationship, but enough about Kate and Garrett because Aurel meets the child and Artemis is just out for blood. His brother is just out for blood. So, as like in the movie, I, 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 so as like in the movie, Irina dies, and yet I do feel bad for her. Because I just wish I would have saw her and Laurent's relationship grow so I could feel something. But yet I do feel bad for her cause she lost the love of her life. But you don't tell on your family. But yet I do kind of feel bad for her because I could see where she's coming from. And she tried to apologize and say to the Volturi, the column they're innocent, I take full of mm, 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 I take full responsibility for my mistake. But Caius wasn't hearing any of it, and yet the sisters it, and yet the sisters went to go attack cars like 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 they did in the movie, but Zafrina stops them by blinding them. And then and 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 then Edward stops Tanya by saying, "This is what they want. If you attack now, we will all die." So as he's walking to talk to the Volturi, so So as Edward looks at the Volturi, this is so so as so hmm, 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 hmm. so as as Edward looks at the Volturi, this is when Jane attacks him, and then we got our girl Bella using her shield to protect her man. And that girl uses that shield, and Jane gets so upset, saying, "Who's doing that? Who's blocking my pain?" And then she realized that it is Bella, and Bella makes that smile like, "Yeah, I got a power too. Fear me." Well, she doesn't say it exactly like that, but that's how I would say it. I'd be like, "Fear me. I got a power too. I can block your power." So, yeah. And so it goes like it goes in the books, but there is no battle at the end, which I am so happy about. Which I am so happy about. And so, which I am so happy about that there is no battle at the end. And our and our and our main man Aro asked and 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 so our main man Aro asked um after meeting the after 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 meeting the half human, half vampire man and his family. And great job, Alice! You saved us all again. You saved us all, Alice. This is why I love you, Alice. So Alice and Jasper come back, and so Alice and Jasper come back, and Alice brings back a witness that was half human, half vampire, and his whole family. And this is when Aro makes a decision, because the council has been deciding this, that they will let the Collins and their child go free. And so Aro says, so Aro so Aro so Aro so Aro says to all his witnesses that we will not fight today. So Aro says to all his witnesses, we will not fight today. There is no danger here. And these children are much like us. So, with the Volturi being gone, everybody celebrates, everybody hugs, and at the very beginning, of breaking down part 2, Bella finds out that Jacob has given her daughter a nickname, Nessie, and at the end of the book, Bella actually hugs Renesmee and says, Nessie, Nessie, Nessie. After she said that nobody better call her daughter Nessie. And this is when and 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 actually this is when in act in act in act in act in act in act in actually this is when Jacob is by her in wolf form and he pokes her back with his nose and and then and 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 this is and 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 this is when she actually looks at him and says, "Stop it! I know what you're gonna say, and shut up." And just an FYI, he was gonna say, "I thought nobody could call her that name." Because Bella got mad at first. Oh, and I forgot to tell you. Um, and I, oh, and, 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 and I forgot to tell you two things. That Elijah was the only one in the Volturi. And he said that he has seen the child and that there is no danger. And Aro and Aro has also met the child. And he decides that there is no danger after seeing how she was born and all the and after seeing how she was born and everybody is there. The Volturi's wives are even there. But everything is all good because the Volturi said there will be no fighting. So the witnesses that Alice brought has helped the situation and 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 the witnesses that Alice brought has helped the situation. And they all go home and Bella tells Renesmee after she asks, did this mean does so Bella tells Renesmee, yes, Renesmee, this means that you are going to be with us forever. Because they had a plan for her to run away with Jacob. You know, so The plan was the plan was for her to run away with Jacob, in case they didn't make it, in case they died in the battle. But nobody died and everybody was safe at the end. And yeah, that's the end of Twilight. And I have to say, the ending to the book and the movie, hands down, were the best. And yes, and and yes, before you guys even ask, I will read it again in the future. Bye. See you guys in my next video. Oh, and also, I do like, I, uh, wait, oh, and also, I do like the, oh, and also, I do like the ending of the book. Chapter 39, Happily Ever After. Because that's how the vampires lived from that day on. After the Volturi just figured out that Renesmee wasn't a threat, they all lived happily ever after. So I just really think that is the very fitting title page for the end of the book. Bye. See you guys in my next video.